Not too long ago, I posted a video about NBA 2K21 and the way they've implemented unskippable in-game ads that artificially extend loading times and also disable certain functions like the ability to edit your lineup during loading screens. And this, by the way, was snuck into the game a month after launch, a month after the impressions and reviews were out, with no heads up whatsoever, which is typical of a lot of these AAA game companies. When they know they're about to add something that is undesired, namely in the way of monetization schemes, they'll do it after launch, after people have let their guards down and whatnot. Just incredibly deceitful. So here's what this looks like from a video posted by CIPHER. As you can see, you can normally edit lineups, but as soon as the ad interrupts this, the edit lineups option goes away, and the loading time extends itself all the way across the entire ad so that people have to watch it in order to proceed with their match. And CIPHER also reports that the same applies to the PC version of the game running from an SSD. With an SSD, loading times for NBA 2K21 would be lightning quick, but it doesn't matter because you have to watch the ad anyway, which means that next-gen consoles that are touting faster loading times because of their SSD, especially PlayStation 5, that benefit doesn't matter. You have to watch the ad anyway. It is complete BS, especially in a full-price $60 to $70 AAA video game. Now, word of the backlash against NBA 2K21's unskippable ads has been spreading, and NBA 2K21 has finally responded with a statement that is just so full of crap. It just reeks. So let's check it out. Here it is. Basically, they're excusing what they did as, oops, it was a mistake. We didn't intend for the feature to work this way. Weird how that got in. Here's what the statement reads like. As many are aware, in recent years, ads have been integrated into 2K TV segments. Yesterday's 2K TV ad placement impacted our players' experience in a way we didn't intend, as these ads are not meant to run as part of the pre-game introduction. This will be fixed in future episodes. Thanks for your continued feedback. Shut the hell up. You know exactly the kind of impact this was going to have. This was just an experiment to see how people would react. And when the reaction became overwhelmingly negative, they decided to pull back a little bit. But they don't say that they're going to stop running ads, just that they're going to do it differently, put them elsewhere. There's still going to be unskippable ads. They've been in the NBA 2K franchise for a while now. Back in 2019, it was reported how fans were unhappy with the increase in the number of in-game unskippable ads. And this is a story that I covered back then. And the effects of back then are the same as they're now. So this one commenter said, yeah, my game got to 100%, and instead of letting me edit matchups, which you can normally do while the game loads, or letting me go straight to the game, I had to sit there and finish the ad. Absolutely pathetic from 2K again. It's the exact negative effect that NBA 2K21's unskippable ads have on the latest entry. So it's not like what NBA 2K21 is doing with unskippable ads is anything new. It certainly wasn't unintended as they claim. I guarantee you they knew exactly what they were doing. An unskippable ad placement, the way it was implemented with NBA 2K21, isn't just something that happens by accident. It was 100% intentional. This is about as unintentional as this scene from The Office.
Just gonna walk over here. Whoa! I'm slipping and falling! I'm stumbling. I need something to grab onto.
It's especially frustrating how sneaky this statement is. They say this will be fixed in future episodes, but the only thing that will be quote-unquote fixed is the part about the ad running in the pre-game introduction. They're not actually fixing the issue here. They're just shifting some stuff around and hoping the backlash will die down. They're hoping that after some time, people will just forget and move on, which is how these companies have moved the goalpost of monetization schemes like microtransactions, loot boxes, and now they're intending to do the same with in-game ads, unskippable ads. And I'll remind you again, 2K isn't the only company trying to normalize in-game ads. This is something that a lot of AAA companies are pushing for. So EA is you know, unsurprisingly, another company that's really pushing for in-game ads, and they did that with UFC 4. Here's a Reddit post that went viral with over 94,000 upvotes showing an ad for the boys playing in the middle of UFC 4, in the middle of a match before replay. It shows up again after the replay, as you can see right here. And then it shows up in the banner, in the interface here. And when the backlash got too severe, EA decided to post a statement in which they claimed that they didn't know that these ads would be so disruptive and that people would be so upset with them. So here's what Corey from EA had to say. I'm part of the community team here at EA, and I wanted to post here and give you all an update on this situation. Earlier this week, the team turned on ad placements in EA Sports UFC 4 that appeared during the replay moments in gameplay. This type of advertising inventory is not new to the UFC franchise, though we have typically reserved displaying ads to specific main menu tiles or octagon logo placement. It is abundantly clear from your feedback that integrating ads into the replay and overlay experience is not welcome. I love how they act as if that's a surprise, when they knew full well this would draw backlash, but they decided to experiment anyway to gather data and see how they can tweak. The advertisements have been disabled by the team, and we apologize for any disruption to gameplay that players may have experienced. We realize that this should have been communicated with players ahead of time, and that's on us. We want to make sure our players have the best possible experience playing EA Sports UFC 4, so ad integration into the replay and overlay experience will not be reappearing in the future. Thank you for your continued feedback on EA Sports UFC 4. You've got to love how they say, we realize that this should have been communicated with players ahead of time, as if that was ever a priority for these companies. These companies have always snuck stuff like this in. So them acting like, oh man, how did we forget to communicate this with you guys ahead of time? That's our bad. It is an act, folks. They're feigning ignorance. The reason they purposely didn't communicate this is because they knew people would be upset. They know people don't like this stuff, but they're shoving them in there anyway because they got to make that dough. The less you communicate this stuff, the less time people have to react to this stuff before it comes out. In fact, most of the times we have to react after this stuff comes out without any heads up. And NBA 2K21 is no different. There was no heads up whatsoever. The unskippable ads were snuck in, and this was not just some accident. It wasn't like they tripped and accidentally hit a button. They planned this out as an experiment to gauge reaction. And that way they can keep tweaking the business model for unskippable ads until they normalize it and get to a point where people will just kind of learn to live with it. But yeah, you get the idea. This is how stupid companies think we are. They think we'll look at these statements that pretend like they didn't know that this would garner negative reaction, or pretend like this stuff was implemented by accident, and they think we'll just buy it and go, oh, you silly 2K, all right, well, you get it right next time. But given these companies have a long history of deceitful business practices, and given that stuff like unskippable in-game ads, experimentation with that is nothing new for 2K, EA, and others, it's just ridiculous that they think this is going to fly and people are just going to eat this up. Just how blatantly these companies deceive and pretend is laughable and comical, except for the fact that they get away with it, and they are still raking in all the money from these awful monetization tactics. Anyway, that's that, folks. That's 2K's response to the NBA 2K community. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts and opinions are on the statement here and just the general state of sports titles and the way publishers are handling them. Drop a comment, and to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.